Hi everyone, thought I'd do another video. It's been a while, just to catch up on where I am with the game progress. I've not done a lot of coding lately, but I've actually done quite a few features, so I'm just going to start and just show you what we've got now at the moment. Down the bottom left hand corner you can see the current memory usage. That's not optimised for the landscape. The world builder is, but this one's not yet, and the frame rate. Now the frame rate was a bit lower because it was streaming in the background assets, and while it's got the facility to do that, it'll use as much CPU time as it can. So first thing I'm going to do, and this will become clear a bit later on, is I'm going to just quickly nip into here. I'm going to go to scenery options, and I'm going to build some fields, and I'm actually going to plant a small farm. Now the reason for that is one of the last updates, or newest updates I've just added, is a full functional shop system to go with the inventory. And one of the most profitable things you can get in the early game are bushels of wheat. So I'm just going to plant seeds because they take a while to grow. They take about half an in-game day to grow at the moment, although I'll slow that down later on. The plan is to make them take about 3 days, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to have them grow a little bit faster than that. So there we go. So now I'll just leave them to grow happily in the background, and while I move on and show you some of the other features. Now in the world, this isn't a particularly big world that I'm looking at just now. There's not a lot of scenery yet, but what I have done is I've made it out of the 8x8 world, the 8x8 chunks. The player can now build their own village, their own little town, in a 4x4 chunk in the middle, and then the surrounding island is just scenery and things they can do, explore caves and blah blah blah, and eventually. What you can do, however, is if you can see down here at controls in the bottom right, I've got a prompt there from next to a tree. I can cut it down, so I'm just going to cut down that tree now by pressing X. Now there's no animation yet, that'll come next. I was just making sure the core technology was all there, and once that's done I can now pick up logs. So you can see here that log's been added to my inventory. Now I can't do anything with logs at the moment, but what I'm now going to do is I'm going to pop back in here. I'm going to go buildings, and I'm going to build a house. Now this large house at the right hand side is the only one I've modelled outside and in. I haven't built the inside of that one yet, so you can build a tent and a log cabin, but you can't do anything with them yet. So I'm going to, for this video, just build the big house. So I've demonstrated this before, so it comes up. I've got my building site here. Building site recognises when there's stuff in the way, it won't let you build on top of it. Now this building site's not sized to that house model, but I'll sort that another day. So for now I'm just going to dump it here. Now, as I showed before, when I go over that, it's now showing what I need to actually do to build this. So I need 6 lots of bricks, 4 lots of planks, 8 lots of logs, and 2 lots of sticks. Now in my inventory, because I've got logs and I'm in the building site, when I click on it now I automatically get the option to add that to the building site. So I can drop that log there. Now I've got a ways to go, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up here to the shop and see what we've got here. Now this little stall acts as my shop. You can see the prompt changed into shop, and when I do it now, it comes up the shop interface. Now I have nothing in my inventory, so there's nothing I can do, but I can see that there's a range of things that I can buy in here. So they've got bricks, and they've got planks, and they've got sticks. So they've got some of the stuff that I need, but I have no money to buy anything yet. So I need to go and earn some money. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, my crops are growing away in the background. They're a really good earner. But in the meantime, I'm just going to harvest some more trees. Now, I upgraded my world builder in the background, so all these trees are actually completely placed by painting. And I improved the painting functionality of that so that you can now paint textured objects, make it much easier. So you can actually set a default set of options such as textures for varying stages, and then when you paint the objects they just automatically adopt those textures, so it's a lot quicker and easier to do. I actually am going to do a commercial release of the world builder very shortly. I've just got 1 or 2 little tweaks I'm going to put into it, and then I'm going to prepare that and get that sent out. But that was completely used to build this world, so I just quickly painted through these trees, and I'll show that in another video. And then my game engine picks up the scripting assigned to them, and then an internal script turns them into these interactive objects, which allows me to cut them down. So I'm just going to continue cutting down these trees just now, and since I'm over here, what I'm going to do is I can see some sticks. So I'm just going to grab those sticks because I need them for my construction, and there's some plants. I'm just going to harvest these. Now these flowers, these will regrow every 3 days of game time at the moment. There's some stone here as well, so I'm just going to take that. Now again, at the moment there's no animation for any of this. I'll add all that once I redesign my main game character, who's a bit feeble right now, but it's just all test assets. So at the moment I've got 7 logs, I've got all the logs I need, I've got my sticks, but I've only got stone, I have no brick. Now at the moment I can't actually make brick, I need to get a workbench. Now I can get a workbench from buying one, but you can only place workbenches in the houses, so I've got to finish my building first. So I'm just going to come back here, and I'm just going to add my logs to the building site. There we go, and I'm just going to add my sticks to the building site there. So I've got no planks, and again I cannot make planks, I've got to buy them. And I can't make bricks, so I'm just going to go back and check on my wheat here to see if there's ready to be harvested, if it's fully grown yet. It's not quite fully grown. It's still growing, so we'll give that just another little while. As soon as it's ready to be harvested, the X prompt will come up at the bottom to tell me that can be harvested. So in the meantime, I'm just going to cut down a few more trees, because they also are worth a relative amount of money. I'll just grab some more plants while I'm there as well. Plants will be used to bake things later on, so that particular flour is going to be usable to bake. You can also make, or will at one point be able to make dyes out of flours that you gather. Oh, and now my wheat's harvestable, so I'm just going to go along. I'm just going to harvest all this wheat. Again, at the moment you don't require any tools to do this, but I am going to implement it so that the player requires to have a hoe or a scythe in order to harvest crops, and an axe to cut things down, etc, etc. Now at the moment tree stumps just remain, but eventually I'll give the player the facility to get rid of them as well. So now I've picked up all that wheat, and you can see my notifications just floating up the side. I'm just going to go over to the shop, and I'm just going to sell what I've got. So I've got some extra logs, I'm going to hang on to them for now, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sell off my wheat. And you can see in the top right corner I've got my money counter. It's called duck bucks as the currency of the game at the moment, so each one of these bushels is worth 15. So I'm just going to sell them off. And you can see now they've gone into the shop. Now the shop only actually buys at 60% of sale value, so I get 15 if I sell duck bucks, if I sell it wheat, but if I want to buy it back then it's 25 duck bucks, so it's a little bit more expensive. Just going to get rid of that as well. Now, I've now got 225, so I need some planks and I need some bricks. So I'm just going to refresh my memories to what I need. And I have a funny feeling I'm going to need a little bit more than I've got there. So bricks, I need 6 bricks and 4 planks. So let's just see what I can afford. So out the bricks. Alright, I could afford my... Oh, bought one too many there. I'll just get rid of that one. Get some money back. And 4 planks. Now, I don't quite have enough for my 4 planks just now, so I'm just going to try and sell off some of this stone that I gathered. There. Now, I should have all the materials required to build my house. Just come back to my building site here, and I'm going to add in my bricks. And I'm going to add in my planks. Now, I've got my prompt down in the bottom right hand corner, change to X to indicate I can build it, so I'm just going to build it. Now, this will obviously be replaced with an animation at the point of time, and the player's going to be hammering away, there'll be little dust clouds, blah blah blah. But for now, I'm just looking at the core technology of building it. So there we go, we've now built our first building. Now, it's been built and is fully enterable, so I can go inside it. Now, you can see here, this house has a workbench inside it. Now, I've done this just so that we don't have to go through the laborious nature of actually getting enough materials to buy one, so I'm just going to move it to the side there just now. Now, you can see here that now I'm standing in front of my workbench. I've got a little icon that says craft, so if I click into that, now I can get into the crafting menu. Now here, I can come up and I can start to craft stuff. Now you can see in particular, I've got planks, so I need 1 log to generate some planks, and I can see I've got a little crafting prompt at the side there, so I can make that one. So I'm just going to do that one, and you can see planks have been added to my inventory, and I'm just going to keep building planks until I run out of logs. Fantastic. So what I want to do is build myself a chair. So I need some dyes, I need some cloth, and I need some more sticks. So let's go and see if I can get those materials now. Now inside houses you can only walk, so you're a little bit slower. I'm just going to leave there now. There's no animated door in this version. Doors aren't automatically animated through a script, but I've not added one in there yet. So I'm just going to go and now have a look and see how much dyes cost. Ooh, dyes are 25, so I need quite a lot of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sell off some of my planks, because I don't really need them. So that, and then I'm just going to go in and I'm going to buy my dyes. I'm going to buy my sticks. And I think I needed cloth as well, if I'm not mistaken. So build my cloth, and now I'm going to go back into the house. Now there's an NPC here. If I go up to the NPC, it'll trigger a mission where I go and speak to this person and she gives me an apple. That's a remnant from the game engine part of the world builder, so at the moment she doesn't really do anything. So I'm just going to go back into my house now. Now you'll notice I'm quite happy with this, that shadows inside the house and outside the house are completely different. So inside they're completely top down, outside the world keeps on going. So I'm going to go back into my crafting menu just now and I'm going to have a look now here, and I have all that I need to create a chair. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to craft that chair, and now the brown chair has been added to my inventory. So I can do two things here. I can either sell the chair, it's worth quite a lot of money, or I can place it in the world. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to place my little chair just there in the corner. Now because it's a chair, I can have a wee seat in it. Nice and easy. So that's all the basic core technology. Everything's got save. There's a full save menu built into the game, and there's an auto-save functionality. So if I leave this building, come back outside, all the internal aspects of that building have now been removed. So if you watch the memory down the bottom hand corner, at the moment I'm using about 3056 megabytes. When I go back in the building, that jumps up, and that's because it's loading all the assets in the background for the workbench and for the seat. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pick that up and I'm going to pop that back into my inventory. So this shows how you can move furniture about the house, and you can take it in and out of the house. Now I'm going to come back out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back around the shop and I'm going to sell that chair because I think it's worth about 90 duck bucks if I remember correctly. So I'm going to come up to the shop, go up here, and there's my chair. Yep, it's worth 90 duck bucks. So I'm just going to sell that now. So that's the fully functional shop system. That will also double up as inventory systems for chests, etc, etc, and fully harvestable world around about you. So trees, plants, stones, sticks, all fully functional, all scripted. So there's going to be some major deforestation in the game. So that's progress so far. Hope you enjoyed it.